Number 1. Wheat, the bread of life. No food is more central to Scripture than wheat, ground into the daily bread we are taught to pray for. Jesus called himself the bread of life. Fields of wheat and tares filled his parables, and for thousands of years a loaf of wheat bread was quite literally the staff of life that held entire civilizations upright. If modern white bread leaves you bloated, spiking, and crashing an hour later, the problem is not bread itself, but what we have done to it. Whole wheat with its bran and germ left intact is a completely different food from the pale, airy, stripped-down loaf, and it nourishes an aging body in a way that fluffy white bread simply cannot. Whole wheat keeps the fiber, B vitamins, selenium, and plant lignans that refining strips away, and large studies link whole grains with a lower risk of heart disease, steadier blood sugar, and a longer life. Ancient forms like einkorn and emmer, the very wheats of the biblical world, are simpler in structure, and many people who feel heavy after modern bread find these older grains and slow sourdough far gentler to digest. Choose wholemeal or stone-ground bread over white, or seek out ancient einkorn and spelt flour and real sourdough, which ferments the grain into something gentler still. Whole wheat costs no more than white and keeps for a year as flour or grain. Next is the golden fruit of Solomon's song. Number 5. Almonds, the awakening nut. The almond is the very first tree to blossom each spring in the Holy Land, and in Scripture it became a sign of God's watchful care. When Aaron's wooden staff miraculously budded, blossomed, and bore ripe almonds overnight, it marked him as chosen, and the gold lampstand of the temple was shaped like almond flowers. If you want a protein-rich snack that needs no fridge and no preparation, almonds travel with you anywhere. A small handful steadies hunger between meals while feeding your body in a way crisps and biscuits never could, which matters greatly as we age, and every snack becomes a small chance to nourish rather than simply fill. Almonds are unusually rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps shield your cells from the slow wear of the years, and in magnesium, tied to muscle, nerve, sleep, and bone health, which many older adults quietly fall short on. Large reviews following nut eaters over time link a daily handful with longer lives, healthier hearts, and steadier blood sugar. The healthy fat and protein in almonds also slow the release of sugar from a meal, helping steady that mid-afternoon energy dip. And because they keep without cooking or cooling, they remain one of the most convenient, nourishing snacks ever carried by a traveler. Eat them raw or lightly toasted, scatter slivers over porridge and salads, or reach for almond butter if chewing tires you, since it carries the same goodness in a smoother form. Soaking them overnight softens them and aids digestion. Store them cool and dark. Next is the humble pod the prodigal son once longed to eat. Number 11. Millet, the survival grain. Millet is the other humble grain named in Ezekiel's famine bread, a tiny golden seed that has quietly fed more of humanity through hard times than almost any other crop. Tough, drought-resistant, and dependable, it thrived where finer grains failed, which is exactly why it earned its place in a bread built for survival. If your digestion is sensitive, or you simply want a gentle change from the same old wheat and rice, millet is a soft, soothing, naturally gluten-free grain that suits an older gut beautifully. It cooks into a comforting porridge or a fluffy side, mild and easy to eat even on a delicate day when richer foods feel like too much. Despite its tiny size, millet is rich in magnesium, which supports the heart, muscles, and sleep, along with B vitamins for energy and antioxidants that early research links with steadier blood sugar. Being naturally gluten-free and alkaline-forming, it is gentle on digestion, making it a quietly valuable grain for anyone whose stomach has grown more easily upset with age. It is also one of the few grains that is alkaline rather than acid-forming, and it carries antioxidants and slow-release energy that help steady both blood sugar and mood, which is part of why it sustained so many people through long seasons of scarcity. Simmer 1 part millet to 3 parts liquid for about 20 minutes for a creamy porridge, or use less water for a fluffy rice-like side. Toasting the dry grains first deepens the flavor beautifully. It is inexpensive and found in health food aisles. Next is the nut a father sent as a treasured gift to Egypt. Number 13. Walnuts, the garden nut. In the Song of Solomon, the beloved goes down to the garden of nuts to see the fruits of the valley, and that garden was a walnut grove, a tree prized across the ancient world for its rich, oily kernels. There is even an old saying that the walnut resembles the very brain it nourishes. If keeping your mind sharp is the thing you care about most as the years go on, a small daily handful of walnuts is one of the simplest steps there is. They need no preparation, travel anywhere, and quietly supply the brain with the building blocks and antioxidants it leans on to stay quick, clear, and steady. Walnuts are the one common nut especially rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant omega-3 fat studied for both the heart and the brain, along with polyphenol antioxidants. Research following nut eaters links a regular handful with healthier hearts, lower inflammation, and, in some studies, better memory and thinking in later life, a remarkable return for such a small snack. Those delicate omega-3 fats are the same family most studied for protecting the aging brain, calming inflammation, and steadying the heart. And because the body cannot make them itself, a regular handful of walnuts is one of the simplest plant ways to top them up. Eat a small handful most days, raw or lightly toasted, or chop them over salads, porridge, and yogurt. Keep them somewhere cool and dark so their delicate fats stay fresh and never turn bitter. They are pricier than peanuts, but a little goes a long way. Next is the tiny pickled bud hidden in a verse about growing old. Number 16. Dates, the honey of the land. Here is something that surprises people. Many scholars believe the honey in the famous Promised Land flowing with milk and honey was not bee honey at all, but the thick, sweet syrup of the date palm. Dates sustained desert travelers for centuries, and the palm itself was a symbol of victory and flourishing life. If your energy crashes in the afternoon, or you crave something sweet but want it to actually nourish you, dates are nature's original energy bar. They deliver quick, natural sweetness wrapped in fiber and minerals rather than empty sugar, making them a far kinder lift than a biscuit, and a couple are genuinely satisfying when that craving strikes. Despite their sweetness, dates are rich in fiber and potassium, and their fiber helps slow the sugar's release, so research suggests they raise blood sugar more gently than their taste implies, though they are concentrated. So, a few go a long way. They also bring antioxidants, magnesium, and the kind of natural energy that fueled long desert journeys. Just 2 or 3 dates make a satisfying, mineral-rich sweet, and because their fiber blunts the sugar spike, they are a far kinder treat than refined sweets, which is exactly why caravans and pilgrims relied on them to cross vast deserts for centuries. Eat a couple on their own. Stuff them with a nut or a little cheese, or blend them to sweeten porridge, smoothies, and baking naturally, replacing refined sugar. They keep for many months and are widely affordable. Next is the bitter green of the Passover table that almost everyone has forgotten. Number 18. Fish, the loaves and fishes. Few foods are more woven through the Gospels than fish. Jesus called fishermen to follow him, fed 5,000 people from a boy's small basket of loaves and fishes, and ate broiled fish himself after he rose, and the fish became one of the earliest secret symbols of the faith. The Sea of Galilee fed the whole story. If protecting your heart, your memory, and your aging brain is what weighs on you most, oily fish is one of the single most powerful foods you can eat. The ancients ate it simply because it was there and it sustained them. But modern science has found that the fat inside these humble fish is some of the most protective nourishment on Earth for a body growing older. Oily fish, like sardines, mackerel, and salmon, are the richest source of the long-chain omega-3 fats studied for the heart, the brain, and the joints, along with protein, vitamin D, and B12. Research links eating fish once or twice a week with a lower risk of heart disease and better protected memory in later life, and the small, cheap, low-mercury fish like sardines are among the very best of all. Aim for oily fish once or twice a week, and do not overlook tinned sardines and mackerel, which are cheap, keep for years, and need no cooking at all. Grill, bake, or simply tip them onto toast. Next is the simple everyday food Jesus used to picture a good and loving gift. Number 19. Eggs, the simple gift. Jesus used the egg as the very picture of a good gift from a loving parent, asking what father, if his son asks for an egg, would hand him a scorpion instead. The egg was a humble, everyday food of the biblical world, and it remains one of the most complete and affordable parcels of nourishment ever laid on a table. If you struggle to eat enough protein, find meat hard to chew, or want to protect your eyes and your memory, the humble egg quietly does all of it at once. Soft, gentle, and endlessly easy to prepare, it is one of the kindest foods there is for an older appetite, delivering a great deal of nourishment in a small, soft, familiar package. An egg is a complete protein, carrying every amino acid your muscles need, plus choline for the memory, vitamin D and B12 for energy and nerves, and the pigments lutein and zeaxanthin that gather in the eye to protect your sight. For most people, the long-standing worry about eggs and cholesterol has not held up in research, which now views an egg or two a day as part of a healthy diet. Boil, poach, or scramble them for a quick, soft, protein-rich meal at any time of day, and pair them with vegetables or whole-grain toast. They are among the cheapest sources of complete protein there is and keep for weeks. Last comes the food that, remarkably, never truly spoils.